Beards, Books, and Bourbon is a spoiler-rich environment. If you haven't read or listened to this book, then you should probably go ahead and do that, because we're going to talk about it, and we're going to say all the stuff that you don't want us to say. So go back and read it, or listen to it on audiobook, and then come back and listen to us. Thanks so much, and enjoy the show.
Welcome back to Beards, Books, and Bourbon, everybody. I'm Steven.
I'm Mark.
And we are glad to be with you once again in our garage studio here.
He's glad. I'm ecstatic.
You are ecstatic. So one up me then.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
My jubilation knows no bounds.
No, that's right. You're bouncing.
I'm bouncing. I am catatonic with joy.
Yes, that's right.
That's why I'll be silent for the rest of the episode.
That's right. So we are enjoying a beautiful October evening while we record this episode. Ready for... This is season 6 now, of course, as we're
This is the inaugural episode of season 6.
That's right. So welcome to season 6 of Beards, Books, and Bourbon.
We have a lot of very cool things this season.
We do, and it's been something that we have been talking about.
We've been working on since September. We've been working on this.
Yeah, and it came together in a really neat way.
It did.
We'll talk about it, I think, when we introduce the bourbon, just to give everybody a heads up on what's coming down the pike in the episodes, or in the season. But thank you for supporting us for the 5 previous seasons.
Yes.
And if you haven't, headed on over to your favorite podcast platform and listen to our episodes, hop on over. Leave us some stars, leave us some ratings, enjoy the episodes.
Or if you have been listening to us for 5 years and you've never left us any stars,
please do.
Now is the time.
That's right.
Now is the time.
Stand up and take leadership.
The planets have aligned. I don't know. What's the song say? When the moon is in its 7th house and Jupiter aligns with Mars? Yeah, that's it. It's the age of Aquarius.
Yeah, that's right.
That's what I am, baby.
That's right.
Born in February of 75, I am the age of Aquarius.
We are groovy. I've got the lava lamp running right here on the table.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yo, baby.
Yo, baby.
But, head on over and listen to some episodes. Check us out if you haven't yet. And if this is your first season, welcome to Beards, Books, and Bourbon. We'd love to have you here.
That's right. And go back and listen to our catalog.
That's right. We've got well over 200 episodes now.
Yeah, I think we're at 213, 210, something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah. It's a lot.
Yeah, it is.
Enjoy.
And it has been fun.
200 some odd hours?
That makes sense.
I mean, it's less than 200 because of the episodes, right?
Well, right.
But it's probably like 175, something like that.
It's pretty decent.
Yeah.
It's pretty decent.
Yeah.
We have an excellent book to open up season 6 with tonight, and paired with an absolutely sublime and delicious bourbon.
Yes.
For the beginning of season 6. And actually the bourbon is from a distillery that we are going to talk about when we introduce, the bourbon itself.
Yes.
But introduce kind of the new types of episodes we're going to be launching in.
All new stuff.
Yeah.
All new stuff. Why don't you tell us about our book?
Tonight's book is Wanderers by Chuck Wendig. Now, in season 5, if you head on back, we did The Staircase in the Woods.
It was our season finale.
In fact, released on Halloween of 2025.
Right.
By Chuck Wendig. Fabulous book.
Absolutely.
Creepy, spooky, all the ooky goodness that you would want for a Halloween episode.
Yes.
And just a great book.
Yes,
Just a great book.
Absolutely.
And this one we're opening season 6. Thank you, Mr. Wendig.
Thank
We're
you, Mr.
opening
Wendig.
season 6 with him as well. And this was a longer book.
Yeah,
this was a good.
this is like
Oh, was this 20 hours or something like that?
it was like 32.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah,
something
yeah,
like
yeah.
that. But this is Chuck Wendig's apocalypse magnum opus, right?
Yes.
This is his version of The Stand. Not
Yes.
trying to compare them directly,
No.
because certainly they're not. But it has that its scale and scope is on that epic level, like The Stand.
That's right.
Where you have
And there's 2 books, right? It's a duology, right?
It's a duology. Yeah. There's 2 books. The
So
first
we've
one
got
is Wanderers.
Second one
is called Wayward.
Wayward. Right. Yeah. And maybe we will do that again. I mean, I need to read that one, which I have not done yet.
Oh, you definitely need to read it.
But perhaps we will.
Because you're not depressed enough.
Right, to go.
So,
yeah.
You thought that you were feeling kind of hopeless by the end of Wanderers, but you know what?
Well, and
You
this
haven't
is one,
even dug 6 feet down
this
yet.
is one story too, where you just have a constant movement of character and flow and ideas and tension.
Yes.
And we have that.
Multiple subplots.
We have that in the staircase in the woods. From a horror type of perspective, and this one, as Mark said, is in an apocalyptic universe now.
Yes,
World.
a modern, not even a near future, a modern day
extinction event
happening right now.
Right.
But before we all die,
right.
Allow me to introduce the bourbon real quick,
because I'm guaranteeing you, if you and I ever find ourselves in an apocalyptic situation,
yes,
that collection of bourbon that we have on our walls is what exactly is going to get us through it.
Yes,
or we're going to go out happy.
Right. We're going to drink like 90% of it and then set ourselves on fire with the last 10%.
That's right.
Yeah.
I'm not waiting for anybody.
That's right. Okay, tonight's bourbon is Whiskey Acres Distilling Company Bloody Butcher. Straight bourbon whiskey, estate distilled, estate grown, 47% alcohol, 47.8% alcohol by volume, 95.6 proof, and we'll talk more about that later.
And we had a little pre-sip, and it is delicious. We've had it for a couple of weeks now, actually, in our collection.
Yes, and this is an uncommon, as we have been told by various sources.
Yeah.
And there's a reason why, and we'll talk more about that when we actually come to that part of the show.
So let's set up the scenes and the characters and whatnot, at least some of the main characters. So there is a large number of characters, both main and supporting, in this story. Obviously, he creates an entire world here.
Indeed.
Modern world, as Mark said. So this is an apocalypse, a world-ending event that's happening in a time frame which we can relate to.
Well, he started writing this, I think, in 2017, 2016, something like that.
Predating the pandemic, the COVID pandemic.
Right. Which is scary how close it comes to what the pandemic looked like.
Let's land there for a minute, because we've talked about on many episodes in the past, we've talked about the relatability of the story.
Yes.
Whether it was, some of those father-son relationships that we see so frequently in Stephen King novels, or whether it was, when we read the one, what was it, the Night Parade?
God, I love the Night Parade.
Oh God, that was a fantastic book. Where it was that father-daughter relationship and escapism.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about the relatability in some of the nonfiction books that we did, specifically Carlo Rovelli, where we relate to the awe and the amazing, vastness of the universe.
Mm-hmm.
We also talked about the relatability in one of our theme shows, I believe, on fear, where the things that we don't know, the things that are strange to us, or things that we cannot identify, things that are in the shadows, in the dark, in the woods, that kind of stuff, are relatable. In this book, Wendig is doing the same thing by setting it in a pandemic, even before we all went through the COVID pandemic.
Right.
As a human being, you live through the fear of that as a possibility, because you're aware of the time that you and I were young school kids, where you learn of the extinction events that happened, millions of years ago, to the dinosaurs and to the different, periods of the Earth. And We know that there are diseases out there. We know that there are bacteria out there. We know that there are bugs out there that can transmit these extinction level events. And so he brings that relatability right there and peppers it with all of the other political, social justice stuff that we are experiencing for the past decade now.
Right. So
it pulls you in.
He started writing it in 2017.
Yeah.
It was published in 2019. The world went
Right
to
there.
hell.
In 2020. Yeah.
In 2020. It was July of 2019 that it came out.
Oh my gosh. So he was,
So less than a year later, everybody went home
yeah.
and stayed there
With his book.
for a long time.
Yeah.
And we began the year that lasted for 30 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is a terrifying story.
It is. So that was my point. The relatability brings it so close to home.
Yeah.
So close to what we have experienced.
Right.
And so close to what we are still experiencing in some ways.
And there are similarities to modern day figures, modern day companies, modern day technology, politicians, captains of industry,
modern day social influencers.
Right. There are analogs.
Right.
Right. So different names, different details, not fictional characters, but
very real purposes.
Yes, and certainly some definitive similarities to kind of the makeup of our culture and society at that time and today as well.
Yeah.
And so our story essentially begins with the opening of a theme park.
Yes.
And we have somebody who
the Garland family.
The Garland family, who, their family name starts with a G, and it might be an analog for another family whose last name starts with a D, who owns most of entertainment in the world,
right?
And
very large entertainment parks,
right? Yes. And this is like the son of the original founder of the park,
right? Yes, right.
Who's living in his father's shadow, and he's trying to make a name for himself, and he's trying to transform the business, and he has decided that he's going to open up a new section to his theme park, and the groundbreaking happens to be right at the edge of a wetland preserve and a cave system. And they do the groundbreaking, which involves some explosives.
Yep.
And a bunch of bats fly out of the cave, and a bunch of people get bitten, including
the son, including
Mr. Garland himself.
Yes.
And thus, the extinction level event plague White Mask is born, White Mask is based off of a
common illness,
a fungal infection that is actually found in bats.
Yes.
And in this story, it jumps the species barrier and becomes dangerous to humans.
Right.
In fact, it has a 100% mortality rate,
right.
Which means if you get it, you're dead.
Right.
You go and because it's running its tendrils all through your body, including your brain.
Right.
First you go crazy, and then you die. Right? And this sounds I was very much reminded of The Night Parade by Ronald Malfi.
Yep.
When I was reading that part. But so
Hi Ron.
That's how the plague starts.
Right.
But in a completely different area, before or right about the same time that this happens, a teenage girl by the name of Shayna wakes up in the morning and goes looking for her little sister, who's a genius. And she finds her little sister walking out to the road wearing her nightgown.
Right.
And Shayna thinks, she's just screwing around. What's going on with Nessie? And she runs out to the street to see what Nessie is doing, and Nessie has this blank look on her face, and she's just walking.
Nothing that is in her way.
Right.
Nothing that is there will stop her.
Right.
It keeps going.
She just keeps going. There's a couple times where, Shayna tries to talk to her. She tries to shock her into waking up. At one point, she tries to grab onto her, and when she does, Nessie starts making this keening noise, and she starts to get very, very hot.
Yeah.
And Shayna panics and lets her go, and she starts walking.
Right.
Soon enough, Nessie starts getting joined by other people who have the same affliction, who seem to be unconscious but moving forward in a definitive straight line, and they start following each other like a flock of birds.
Very determined way.
Very determined way.
In a direction.
And
one direction.
And slowly but surely, we have these loved ones who are following along their loved ones who are in this state, these wanderers who are in their state.
Become known as the shepherds.
Right. The ones who are afflicted are known as the flock, and the ones who follow them and try to take care of them are known as the shepherds, and this slowly builds over time. At the same time, as they are seeming to move in a westerly direction, starting in New England and heading west, and building up people as they go, the world is slowly, sorta, kinda falling apart.
Well, the white mask is starting to become, and I want to go back to the white mask because the disease is insidious. As Mark said, it is based on a common affliction of bats.
Yes.
And I think some other flying creatures as well.
Yep.
I think bees are afflicted with a form of it in some way.
Could be.
But it's in bats, as I understand it, it causes this. It's known by this white patchy, scrapey fungal thing on their nose.
Right, because tendrils of the fungus are coming out
of the bat's nose.
It grows in the brain.
Right.
And as it starts to expand, it starts to come out through the corners of their eyes, through their nostrils, out of their mouths.
In the humans.
In the humans, right?
In the story. In the bats, it's
just kind of crusted around their nostrils.
Right, it's just crusted around the nostrils. But what's important for the bats is that it impacts their ability to echolocate.
Yeah.
So that is why it is a challenging disease in current bat population, which is an existing disease. The way that he describes it for the humans, like you just said, is creepy as all get out.
Yeah.
Because it's like this it's almost, I mean, your face and your nostrils and your ears are almost becoming like linked mushrooms.
Yes.
As this fungus is growing.
Well, it's kind of like it's kind of like The Last of Us, but it's at a very slow pace.
Right.
You know, with the Last of Us, the fungal infection takes over the human body in minutes, right? But in this story, it happens at a much slower rate, and honestly, a much more reasonable rate.
Well,
right.
You have to, as the infection sets in, it's almost a combination of losing somebody to a viral infection and to dementia.
Yeah.
In this case, the viral infection is causing the dementia.
Right.
The people, the loved ones, are losing their grip on reality.
Yeah. And
just like somebody who is experiencing dementia or Alzheimer's or any of those dementia-related diseases,
and unlike,
you're losing your center of your person.
Yes, and unlike The Last of Us, White Mask does not keep you alive.
Right.
You know, it is not. It doesn't have a goal of using you to spread itself.
It needs you in order to just perpetuate its spores. It's
right, and eventually you're gonna die. You're gonna keel over. It's clogging your lungs. It's clogging your circulatory system. It's getting into your heart. It's in your brain. It's breaking down your brain. It's feeding off of it. You are going to fall over and be dead
and be gone.
As opposed to like The Last of Us, where it keeps the human host alive by slowly replacing itself with more and more fungus that acts in the similar ways. Right.
Right.
So this is not a species takeover or a species transformation. This is an extinction. A good old-fashioned, you're here today, you're gone tomorrow, and now it's time to make way for whatever else is going to get smart and grow big.
It's an extinction level.
Yeah.
And it's and what's interesting, and you mentioned it was a species jump, and I was trying to remember, it's a zoonotic jump.
Yes.
Which is great. Not great. Not by people, but it's great.
I love
Hey!
I love zoonotic jumps.
Hey, welcome to Beards, Books, and Bourbon, where we support disease.
That's right. That's right. Are you a
Jumping from
disease?
specious to
Do you feel like people are against you? But we're not. No, we're not. We love you, zoonotics jumping disease.
That's right.
There's nothing I love better than getting toxoplasmosis and rabies. Thank you so much.
Let's do it.
I hope there's more. I hope there's more diseases
Let's
like that
go
out
all
there.
in.
Yes.
Let's go all in.
Yes. What's that? Are you a cobra? You want to give me some venom too?
Well,
Fantastic.
too is, Wendig is, he's wrapping into that the idea that this massive corporation is taking necessary land away from nature.
Yeah.
And in doing so, releasing a terrible disease upon the planet.
Indeed.
And we already know that this is happening. And we already know, in fact, things that you hear or read about certain parts of the planet that were covered in permafrost, and that permafrost is melting, and whatever might have been in there could potentially be dangerous. We don't know yet because we haven't been able to test anything yet.
Right.
But those things that were suspended or gone,
right,
or totally frozen in some weird cryonic state are now being released as the planet warms.
Indeed.
And so you have these, we had COVID, and that in and of itself was nasty enough.
Yes. Which I got.
You got? We are
Like,
pretty sure we had it prior to the pandemic. I told you that
Right.
my wife was so sick.
I think
in
I've gotten
December
COVID
and
like
January.
3 times now, something 3 or 4 times now at this point.
And I'm pretty sure that we had the early stages of it, and then we were all
Right,
close.
before anybody knew what it was.
Because they couldn't figure out what was wrong with my wife.
Yeah,
And she had been in the hospital a couple times. She was on inhaler after inhaler after inhaler.
yeah.
And this was, December of
2019. Yeah,
In January and February 2020, and then all of a sudden,
right.
So, the reality of this is that Wendig draws on this primal fear of us dying from something that we can't see, or that is so small that we can't get to, or that is so complex that you need some massive amount of, massive amount of intervention from scientists to create some type of vaccine.
Right.
But it's not quick enough to save the larger parts of the population.
So at the same
And it's right.
time, as white mask
Yep.
starts to spread,
Yep.
we have extremist groups
Yep.
all over the United States
Hey!
who have been waiting for their moment or their excuse for
To-
society to start to break down, and they go into action with their viewpoints and their take on what's necessary in order for the human race to survive.
Well, and specifically what's necessary for the country in this case is
Right.
fine.
And a lot of it has to do with dictatorships and guns,
Yes.
and some fairly heinous crap.
Yes.
We also have a politician who is an election year, and you have
A female president,
there's a female president
President Hunt,
who nobody likes.
right?
Generally speaking, it seems like on both sides of the aisle, nobody seems to really like her. But then you've got this other person on one side of the aisle who is very charismatic and speaks to a base of people who tend to lean towards those extremist groups,
Correct.
who are finding their moment. And
And at the same time, the world is falling apart. I mean, people are sick. You have this large flock of people wandering, and nobody can... Mind you, while they're walking, they've tried multiple things, and they are protected.
right,
They cannot be pierced. They can be shot.
right. There's somehow they're
They're not sleeping. They're not eating.
not sleeping, they're not
producing
eating,
waste.
they're not producing waste. They're
They tried to sedate them with a needle. You cannot
Right.
poke them.
the needle won't break the skin.
Right?
They can be shot and killed.
Yes.
But they've also shown a certain amount of extra human abilities
Yes.
where they're able to climb sheer surfaces.
Yep.
and
Over things.
make leaps that they normally would not be able to make.
Nope.
And jump down from things from a height that they would not normally be able to jump from without injuring themselves. And It seems very, and as the flock continues across the United States, it gets larger and larger and larger. It starts at 2. Then all of a sudden there's 15. All of a sudden there's 150. All of a sudden there's over 300.
Mm-hmm.
And it goes, and it gets larger and larger and larger as it goes. And this becomes a focus point for some of those groups to say, well, we have this horrible disease that is happening, and then we have this group of people who over here who are afflicted by something. Maybe they're not afflicted. Maybe they're terrorists. Well, wait, no, maybe, but if they're not terrorists, then they're certainly they're victims. Right. They're victims of terrorists, or they're damned by Satan, or they're possessed by demons, or whatever their particular genre of extremism happens to be. That's what they think it is.
Or trope or whatever they're going to pull, they're going to pull.
Right, because it's a smokescreen that allows them to do the other heinous things that they want to do, while everybody's looking over here. Right, it's a rope-a-dope. It's a Barnum and Bailey. This way to the great egress. Right.
Yep.
And then you have this guy named Dr. Benji Ray, who is a disgraced member of the CDC, who is like the top expert in his field. He knows what he's doing. He knows how to do it. He knows more about everything than everybody else.
Epidemiologist, right?
Yes, and but he took a risk and he broke the law and he got caught for it. And he's lucky he didn't wind up in jail. Mm-hmm. But he was disgraced after that. And he kind of became beloved of extremists on the other side, right? So like people who are ecologists who are feeling like, we have to do whatever is necessary to save the planet at this point. And
that's what he did.
Right.
He made decisions to release information, to release certain things that should not have been released.
Right.
And got caught. And
it cost people hundreds of millions of dollars.
Correct.
Whether or not you care about those people is a completely different thing, but there was essentially damages to the tune of hundreds of millions of dollars.
Correct.
So again, he's lucky he's not in jail. He's lucky that he's now kind of an eco-warrior celebrity instead.
Right.
But
which makes him an interesting character because he automatically reassumed the leadership qualities.
Well, in a very short period of time.
Yeah.
In a very short period of time, when it becomes clear that they don't know what they're doing with White Mask,
they've got to pull him back.
They've got to pull him in because he's the only person that they think has a shot. And at the same time, there is a technology company that has built an artificial intelligence, and they insist that Benjamin Ray has to be on the team, and go so far as when the CDC refuses and says, we're not hiring him back, they say, that's fine, we'll hire him. And the technology company hires him to be their consultant and sends him on scene with the flock anyway. And so you have this artificial intelligence, who is one of our main characters, called Black Swan. And Black Swan is a prediction engine. It takes data and it does massive amounts of data crunching at the quantum level, and it factors in things that you and I don't necessarily factor in at a conscious level. But it's kind of like reading body language, but globally.
When it makes those futuristic predictions.
Right. When you and I are walking up to each other to shake hands when we get together, we're unconsciously looking at each other. We're looking at each other's faces. We're looking at our body language. We're looking at the way that you're moving, the way that you're smiling, and we're determining what's going on with you. In the course of like a second or two before we shake hands. Right. And Black Swan does that, but much to a much larger, more detailed and global degree.
Oh.
And so Black Swan is on the case trying to figure out what's going on with the flock. Right. And one of the predictions that Black Swan makes is that the only person who can figure out what's happening with the flock is Benjamin Ray. And so that's why he gets brought in. Otherwise, it never would have happened.
Right. And Black Swan will only talk to Benjamin.
Benjamin and Marcy, who is Black Swan's creator.
Not Marcy.
Yeah, Marcy.
No, Marcy was the...
Oh, no, not Marcy. What's her name?
Sadie?
Sadie. Sadie. Yes, you're right. Sadie.
Yeah.
Right.
Marcy was the...
The cop.
Yeah.
Cop. Right.
The badass cop that comes in later into the book, but is also attuned to the flock itself. All right, let's go back over to where are we at? Do we need to introduce the bourbon?
Oh, we're deep in. Hold on a second here.
Probably need to bring the bourbon in here, right?
Yeah, we're at 31.
Okay, let's bring the bourbon in.
Let's
Time
bring
to have
the
a sip here.
bourbon.
Have a sip. Let's do it.
Okay. Here we go. Tonight's bourbon is Whiskey Acres Distilling Company, Bloody Butcher. Artisan Series Straight Bourbon Whiskey, estate distilled, estate grown, 47.8% alcohol by volume, 95.6 proof.
Oi, governor.
Oi, governor. It says here on the side, aged at least 4 years, non-chill filtered, and on the back it says, farm crafted in DeKalb, Illinois.
Yes.
Whiskey Acres Artisan Series reflects years of trial and error, patience and passion. Rare, heirloom, and specialty varieties of corn are grown and distilled on our family farm into truly unique offerings that showcase the flavor nuances of corn varieties. These only get released after a successful trial in our tasting room.
Oh.
Bloody Butcher Bourbon is a harbinger of autumn, evoking apple tarts, cornbread, and creme brulee on the nose. The palate maintains a strong balance of wood spices and warm pastries.
Indeed.
A medium finish with notes of banana caramels completes the perfect Midwest hug on a crisp fall day. I love that they call it a Midwest hug as opposed to a Kentucky hug.
No,
Yes.
they're playing off of that.
Yes, absolutely.
They're definitely playing off of that.
So, in a very, very simple explanation, essentially, this stuff is made from Halloween corn.
Yes.
And it's we got to hear that, this kind of corn that they grow for Bloody Butcher, the stalk only makes 2 ears of corn per stalk. That's it.
Right.
So, I mean, think about when you're driving down the road, especially people in the Midwest. Think about when you're driving down the road and you're literally surrounded by cornfields. Think about how many ears of corn are on a single stalk.
Right. 6, 7, maybe.
Right. But with this Halloween corn,
2.
It's 2. It could be 6 feet tall, and there's 2 ears of corn on it. That's it. So it's a lot of work. It's a pain in the butt. It's a lot of work.
It's a lengthy process.
It's a lengthy process to gather enough corn to even create a mash.
Well, and if you'll remember when we shared some of the stuff from the 2025 Bourbon Fest here in Grays Lake, Illinois, with Mike and his team over at the Vine.
Right.
Restaurant. So if you're in the area, you've got to check it out. Fabulous restaurant, fabulous people. We had an opportunity to meet with some of these vendors,
right?
To meet with some of the distillers there. And the Whiskey Acres was one of them, and we had a fascinating conversation with them about this.
Absolutely.
In fact, one of their props at the table where their tasting was kind of a lineup of the different corns.
Yes. That
they use in their distilling process.
Yes.
And they're close by us, so it's not too far of a drive for us to visit.
Less than an hour.
If that.
The plan is to go and visit them soon.
Right.
And we're hoping that maybe we can get a tour and spend a little time talking to some of the folks over there about their process and what they do and their passion, their vision, stuff like that.
Let's taste it.
Let's taste it. All right, let's see. It said again on the nose, apple tarts, cornbread, and creme brulee.
I get more cornbread than I do the creme brulee.
I am getting cornbread. I totally am.
Oh.
But I'm getting a little bit of the apple and some caramel too. But it's almost like I'm smelling the cornbread by itself, and then I'm smelling caramel apple,
It's not terribly sweet for me. It has a nice...
No, it's very smooth.
It has nice, smooth, savory flavor.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, considering it's 95 proof, almost 96 proof, that's really we're above the line where the burn generally starts to happen.
But I'm not getting a burn.
No burn at all.
It's nice.
It's really smooth. And then it says the palate maintains a strong balance of wood spices and warm pastries.
It's like breakfast.
Yeah, I get that. It's so good.
I get the very fall flavors.
Very much
very fall flavors. Not the mulled wine. It's not that kind.
No,
right.
No.
It's more of that.
It's not a fall evening. It's a fall morning.
It's a fall morning. It's also a fall field.
Yes.
Which is the taste of the corn.
It's crisp out.
And the gentleman we spoke to when we were interviewing them at the event,
so knowledgeable.
Really knowledgeable, really intense in terms of how he works to shape the bourbon.
Yes.
The relationship that they have as a distiller with the corn.
And the land.
And the ability to navigate and manage and build that relationship in an art form that creates the bourbon that we're able to taste.
Right. And this is an estate distillery.
Correct, which means everything is there.
Everything is there. Everything is grown there.
Right.
Everything that they're putting in the bottle.
The corn, anything with the mash.
Yes.
The people, the location.
Yeah.
The distilling pots. The everything is there on the estate.
It's distilled, it's barreled, it's aged, all there everything. On the estate, everything. On the land.
Everything.
So
the water is from the land.
Yes.
The water may have traveled from somewhere else, but the water is the stuff that has seeped into the land.
Right.
That irrigates the crops, that feeds into the corn and whatnot. And just a really, really.
I don't know if DeKalb is on Lake Michigan water or not. It might be well. Yeah. It might be well water or aquifers,
which would contribute to a much different taste.
Yeah, absolutely.
In that realm. Yeah,
maybe it's coming from the Mississippi.
He was great.
He was great. Very knowledgeable and a lot of pride.
Very much.
Very proud of his product too.
Also, like you said, very knowledgeable. He also knows what the challenges are of the corn that they grow.
Yes.
And what kind of bourbon it's going to get. He would point at one corn. He's like, this one. I like this one better.
Right.
This corn, this ear of corn.
This one is easy to grow.
Yeah.
This is what is going to give us kind of the main line. Right. The general main flavors that you want for a bourbon whiskey. This one is going to change it up because of this. Piece. This one is more difficult to grow and it's going to change it like this. And then there's the Bloody Butcher, which is like, this is a pain in the butt to grow.
And it merits the name.
And there's a reason why we do a limited offering.
That's right.
Like every other year or something like that. And so I knew that they were going to feature this. It was going to be released in October. And so I went to our good friends, Gold Eagle Wine and Spirits in Libertyville, Illinois, and I was just wandering around, and it turned out I look down, and what do I see? 3 bottles.
Looking at me.
Of the Bloody Butcher. Looking at me. And so I took one, and I paid for it.
Yes.
And it was very reasonable in price, too.
It is.
And man, this really is special. It really is.
Yeah.
It really is a Midwest hug. It's got those fall flavors. It's got the apple in there. It's got that cornbread. It's got baking spice. It's got that pastry, like white wheat, right? That is used for making pastry dough, right? I
want to pull up the Sunday comics and sit with this bottle.
Right. Absolutely.
I want to read Garfield.
Yes. I want to sit in the backyard in the morning while it's still crisp out with a fire in the fire pit. And I want to have an apple tart, some French toast, and this.
Yes. It's a breakfast of champions,
right? Man. Absolutely.
That's
absolutely.
A breakfast of champions.
That does not scream of alcoholism at all. I have no idea what you're talking about. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody. The pancakes take care of it. The pancakes help you.
Mm-hmm.
And there is no burn there. Yeah, it's a smooth.
No, I just swallowed it wrong.
No, it's a smooth pour. It's a smooth pour.
It's a super smooth pour.
And so we have Benji, who is our chief investigator.
Right.
We have Sadie, who is
the creator of Black Swan.
Correct. And somebody that he has known for a while.
Have not.
No. In this one, yes. Oh, no. For her. No, wait a minute. It's the other one that he knows.
Is the other one?
Boss. The what's her name? Shoot.
She had a nickname like the Terminator or...
Yeah.
Something like that.
She was his CDC
right
counterpart or boss.
Well, the boss is the one who's like, I'm never bringing him back.
Yeah.
And then there's the other one who's been kind of like his partner for forever. And I don't remember her. But he was always kind of like a mentor.
There's
to
Araf,
her.
too, who's the...
Yeah, there's
young
Araf,
guy.
who's the brand new kid.
Yeah.
He's the brand new kid. He
Yeah.
looks up to Benji as well, because Benji's kind of a legend in the industry, right?
Very much so. Very much so. A well-respected scholar and investigator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where were we going with that?
I don't know. I was going somewhere.
Yeah. And there's Pete Corley,
Oh, yeah.
the lead singer of Gumdropper.
A punk rock band.
Yeah. It's kind of like
So the story, to kind of link Pete Corey into this one, it kind of reminds me of somebody who would walk into your life from, like from the Grateful Dead or from Kiss or whatever.
right. I was thinking British Aerosmith, or
right.
even like Rolling Stones. It kind of felt like it was a Rolling Stones analog,
For sure.
but not as old as the Rolling Stones. Or as my father-in-law once said back in 2015, Kath, could you please be quiet so I can sit here and watch the Rolling Stones before they die?
Right, and they're still going.
They're still going. He's passed away, but the Rolling Stones are still around. Well, the drummer died, right?
Yes, the drummer died.
And Keith Richards has been dead since like 1983. He just hasn't realized it.
Correct, it hasn't faded away.
Right. He just keeps on going. That's what happens when you do enough cocaine and drink enough booze.
It preserves you.
You preserve yourself you give yourself energy.
What Chuck Wendig does really nicely in the book, though, too, is also links those different strings of different stories.
Yes.
Different people, different, emotions.
Well, we have Marcy, who was an ex-cop.
Retired ex-cop.
Right, who was almost beaten to death, and she suffers now from crippling migraine headaches.
Mm-hmm.
Except that when the flock comes rolling through town, her pain and her disability disappears.
Right.
And she goes, I don't know what this is about, but I have to go with them.
I'm following them because it's healing me.
Yes, exactly.
But Pete Corley is a well-known rocker with a family, but also, with
a lover.
And a lover, right?
Probably with several lovers at some point.
Right.
But he's got kind of a steady long-term lover. And his band is doing like a reunion tour kind of thing. But the world is falling apart, and Pete Corley has never been somebody who likes to just do what you're supposed to do. And so he has a fight with the lead guitarist. He goes storming out of the studio, and he sees an article about the flock, and he's like, well, screw it. I'm just going to go hang out with them.
That's right.
And he hops into his car, and he takes his guitar, and off he goes to go see the flock. And inextricably ties himself to the flock in multiple ways.
That's right. Especially since Shayna's father is a huge fan of his.
Right.
Right.
We have Shayna, who is the sister of the very first member of the flock, and she's the very first shepherd. Her father, who is a single dad, is following the two girls in an RV that he bought
specifically for the following.
And kind of seems like maybe he sold his farm or something like that, or knew that he was going to lose the farm by leaving. Kind of a subsistence farmer up until that point, and he walked away from it. You have extremist groups who are focusing on the flock because they think that, or they're using the flock as justification for violence. Right.
Well, they're weapon hoarding. They're planning the apocalypse. They're planning
their new racist regime.
That's right. The New World Order.
The New World Order.
Right.
Where white people are in charge again. Blah, 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 blah. Men are men and women listen. Blah, 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 blah. And that's it. And people use mortar oil for all the wrong uses.
Quite.
And
we're going to let you read that part.
Yes, we are. And there are other characters who are people who think that they're good people.
Yeah.
until bad things happen, and then their goodness is tested.
Yes.
One of those characters is Pastor Matthew Good. And he's got a very interesting story as well. Our kind of our example of the extremist groups out there is a guy by the name of Ozark Stover.
Yep.
I mean,
Great character.
great name for a villain.
Yeah.
Ozark Stover.
Right.
Are you kidding me? I mean, good God.
It is an outstanding villain name, and the character and the voicing that the narrator does is brilliant.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's a big, burly, massive.
It's like a bear.
Right.
It's like a
massive,
bear in overalls.
wealthy
Yes.
man.
Yes. Who does the hick shtick, but he's actually very well educated, very intelligent,
And
not
shrewd.
not a moral bone in his body.
And shrewd.
Yes.
Like, I will take care of you unless you get in my way, and if you get in my way,
Then I will take care of you in a completely different way.
things will happen.
Right. If you
Squeak like a pig, boy.
If you get in my way, well, don't get in my way.
Right.
Because you don't want to know what else.
You don't want to know.
Yeah. And so the flock is on a path towards Ouray, Colorado. Which is very Standish.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, you come see me in Colorado, said Mama Abigail, right? You know, but then again, you know,
Well,
you're protected by the mountains. You've got access to food. The air is
middle part of the country there. You're right.
it's a smaller population. The air is
Hard to
thinner,
find.
but it causes the human red blood cell count to triple. I think it is. It's
Okay.
either double or triple. So it's an adversity that causes a positive reaction in the human body. Honestly, Colorado and the higher elevation, it's probably a smart place to go if the world is going to go.
Hard to find.
That was a.
There you go.
There we go. There we
Now
go.
you got it.
Yeah.
Am I still recording? I'm still on.
Yep.
Good voice.
Good voice. Good voice. Oh yeah.
Well, and they're being directed there, and we're going to let you, of course. I mean, the book has been out for a while, naturally, but
2019.
we'll let
So
you
6
kinda-
years.
You gotta read the book to see what the reason is for them going, what's drawing them.
Yes.
Right.
There are so many things that we can't reveal
Very much so.
because they are.
Well, it would take the fun out of reading the book.
Yes. Because when I started this book, I thought that it was one thing.
Yeah, I would agree.
And
I was ready to go in a different direction.
Right. And we get about halfway through, and suddenly it gets turned on its head.
Yeah.
And then we get 3/4 of the way through, and it gets turned on its head again. And then we get to the end
I
of
agree.
the book,
Very skilled.
and it gets turned on its head
one more time.
one more time.
Well, I kind of anticipated that one eventually.
Yeah.
That last turn, I mean, maybe it might have taken me a little while to get there, but then I was like, oh, this is going to be interesting.
Right.
You know?
And by the time you get into the second book, it gets really gnarly in the second book.
Right.
Like in all the best ways. But the
gnarliness is on the increase.
yes, the horror factor is not so much a supernatural kind of horror.
Yeah.
Although there's some of that in there, but the horror factor really boils down to what all the main characters are willing to do and how they're willing to justify it. And how they're willing to lie to themselves and others.
Isn't that just the question of, like, isn't that just the way in which we are operating as humans now anyway?
I mean, in some ways.
We're justifying things that we never thought we would be justifying, no matter what side of the spectrum you're on.
Yeah.
And that's what's happening in this book.
Yeah.
They are at an extinction level event. They are at a flight or fright type of,
And everybody's looking for a cure, and there isn't one.
No.
Everybody's looking for a cure. Everybody assumes that there's got to be a cure somewhere, and everybody assumes that they're going to be the ones who are still around after it's all over. And so they're perfectly willing to hack
To make those sacrifices, yeah.
and to hack and burn whatever they think is necessary
to get to the front of the line.
to make sure that they get to the front of the line and that they're the last man standing.
Yep.
Stephen and I will not be the last men standing. We may be the last men sitting,
podcasting,
and podcasting, talking about somebody's manifesto at our book of the week, and drinking the last of the bourbon that's ever been made
on the planet.
On the planet, yep.
And I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I'm good with that. I'm okay.
If that's my way out, that's my way out.
Yeah, exactly.
Beers, Books, and Bourbon signing off.
That's right.
In 2045.
Blade Runner 2049.
We'll still be doing this in 20 years. We'll be in our 70s.
Yes, absolutely. In 2050, I'll be 75. You'll be 76.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll sign off.
Absolutely.
We might not be able to get out of the chair, but
right. Well, when we'll rig it up so that when we turn off the computers, it will turn off our life support too.
That's right. And good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
The real good night, everybody.
Ooh.
Oh, where are we at for our episode here?
We're at 52.
Ooh, 52.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. There was one other thing that had occurred to me when you said something, and now it left me. It left me.
I don't know.
So this really wasn't it, but I think there's something to be said about this because it happens to Reverend Bird. It certainly happens to Benji. It happens to Sadie. It happens to a number of the characters. And while the physical and mental and health transformations are occurring because of White Mask, there's also a transformation in these characters.
Right.
None of them are the same throughout the entire trajectory of the book.
No,
and that happens, of course, in writing itself. But in this case,
everybody has a character arc.
Yeah. In this case, though, it's compelling.
Well,
Reverend Bird is compelling.
Well, Reverend Bird is compelling. Reverend Bird frustrates me, but
very much so.
Or Pastor Bird. He is compelling. Yeah. One thing that I have noticed is that the pattern that I noticed in Wanderers is that the characters who don't grow are the ones who definitely die.
Yeah.
That's the key there. If you see that a character has not had some type of self-awareness moment or self-actualization, or they've stepped away from their path of destruction.
Yep.
They dead. They're going down.
They're gone.
They're gone.
They're gone. All right.
And we're back. I don't remember what we were talking about, Stephen.
From a potty break.
We had a little man break.
Which we have to.
Because men of a certain age
are drinking bourbon,
then we gotta go take it. If they sit down for more than 30 minutes and then stand up, that's right. Immediately just...
It's automatic.
It's automatic.
Hi, everybody.
That's right. Glad you could join us. Hello! Welcome to the indignities of manhood.
That's right.
Above a certain line in the sand.
Well, I think we can wrap it up a little bit here because we've had the good bourbon, we've had the good conversation. We want to get to the oops-sode. We also want our listeners to read the book and support Chuck Wendig.
Yes, Wanderers.
This was a good one.
By Chuck Wendig.
Followed up by Wayward, which I'm going to read so that I can close out this story in my head.
Oh my gosh!
And know everything that happens or should be happening or whatever.
Wayward is just. It is new levels of insanity,
yes,
and despair.
That's the thing. I think there's a really. I think Chuck Wendig has an excellent handle on creating anxious despair.
Yeah, I think so too. And
crafting stories that we are living to a certain extent. Final thoughts on the bourbon. Let's go there first.
The Bloody Butcher. Don't be afraid of the name.
No.
And people, we're recording this in October.
Right.
People are listening to it at the last Saturday
January.
in January.
So we're still in the cold months.
Right. But chances are, especially if you're not in Illinois, you're not going to find it. If you do happen to find it, first of all, count your lucky stars. Second of all, guard it with your life.
Pick up 2.
And share it with the people that you love.
That's right. I will agree.
I
will wholeheartedly jump on that bandwagon right there because it is an excellently crafted bourbon.
Right.
It is from a passionate distillery.
Right.
That knows how to use corn.
And it's an estate distillery, which is something that I was this many years old, minus 2 months.
Yeah.
When I learned that there was even such a thing as estate distilling.
Well, and when we understood it.
Right. And as we move through season 6, you are going to hear more about this. Because after Stephen and I went to the Bourbon Fest, and we got to meet all these vendors and have short conversations with them and do a few interviews, and you'll get to hear some of those interviews in November and December, we asked them if they'd be willing to do more in-depth interviews, full episodes with us. Yeah. And several of the distilleries have responded and said yes. And I don't want to reveal what those distilleries are going to be just yet because we're currently in the process of planning them, booking them, making sure that we have everybody on board. But right now we've got a small handful of them booked. We've got about 7 or 8 of them that have showed interest. And so we're going to get to hear a lot more about estate distilling, and we're going to get to hear more about
master distillers themselves.
Yes, in some cases, absolutely.
And this is something that we have been wanting to do for a little while.
Yep.
But really dove into it now with the interviews that we were able to get before the event started when we were at the Bourbon Fest.
Yes.
So we were allowed graciously early access to the vendors while they were setting up so that we could pop in, do short little 4 or 5 minute quick interviews with them.
Yep.
And then, as Mark just said, follow up at a later time for larger interviews. And this is something we wanted to craft a little bit more. We want to talk to the people who make the bourbon that we enjoy while we're sharing with you on these episodes what we're reading.
And in addition to that, over the last couple of years, we've had some opportunities to interview a few authors here and there.
Right.
And for whatever reason, somehow things have changed, and now we have authors who are actually reaching out to us and who are interested in the show and interested in being on the show and talking about their book, which is wonderful.
We're getting out there.
We're super excited about that.
Right, that's
right. But that means also that we're going to have more author interviews in 2016 or 2026 as well.
Mm-hmm.
And so, because we have all these things happening, you may see that the show will start to develop in some ways that perhaps you haven't seen before.
Right.
There could be a website. There could be a new newsletter. There may even be a Patreon account. We don't know. We're kind of spitballing ideas.
Yes.
We've talked to some vendors about swag and different products that we can bring to bear.
Mm-hmm.
We've talked about a little bit about affiliate partnerships, things along those lines. And we've got something else that's in the hopper that could be really special. And we don't want to say what it is yet because we want to make sure that can actually happen. But if it does, it's kind of a bucket list kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so we'll see. We'll see.
What would really help too is if you head on over and leave us some stars.
Absolutely.
Reviews, because that helps us climb the list a little bit.
And you may remember
give a little bit of oomph to the stuff.
Yes. And you may remember from mid-season 2025 when I said 2 friends, 2 coworkers, 2 frenemies, 2 people that you will share your love of beards, books, and bourbon with. Yep. Tell them about it. Make them listen to an episode. Send them the link. Whatever you need to do. Tie them down, put drops in their eyes, play Beethoven in the background while they're listening to the podcast. Or Barry Manilow. Or Sergio Mendes. Never gonna let you go.
Engelbert Humperdinck.
No, God. Why would you do that to them? No Engelbert Humperdinck. No, who's the other guy?
Wayne Newton.
Yes, Wayne Newton. Wayne Newton. That was the other guy. Yes. Yeah. No Wayne Newton.
Yeah, Wayne Newton.
That's a bridge too far. That's a bridge too far. Drops in the eyes are fine. Psychotropic drugs, no problem. Wayne Newton, spawn of Satan. Absolutely.
Pushing it to the limit.
That's pushing it to the limit. Can't do that. Can't do that. But 2, that's all you have to do.
That's right.
If all of our followers were to get 2 people to listen to the podcast, it would be a very, very different world, and we could bring more to you. Listen to me. I'm starting to sound like the people from NPR.
That's right.
You're listening to WBEZ, and this is our pledge drive. That's right. That's right.
When you call in to our pledge drive, it'll be answered by either Mark or Steven.
That's right.
We have
some fabulous gifts.
Nice umbrella.
We have a matching program.
Right.
That's right. An anonymous donor, Steven's wife, has promised to match dollar for dollar whatever. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Good God. Yeah.
Well, we are happy to have had you with us once again here as we launch into season 6.
Season 6.
We celebrate this as a what started as a hobby, but has become really a work of love and passion, and knowledge and sharing that Mark and I started to get out of a time when we were all stuck in that pandemic, but has grown into something that we do as it's meditative for us.
Yes.
It keeps our minds going.
It's something that we love to do. It's something that we love to share, and we would love you to share it too.
Yeah, exactly. So wherever you are social media wise or podcast platform or downloads, whatever you do, wherever you access it, we hope you enjoy it, share it, leave us some reviews, all that good stuff.
That's right.
We appreciate your support all these years, and welcome to season 6 of Beards, Books, and Bourbon.
Welcome, and buckle up. It's going to be one hell of a season.
But one thing we will never change is our closing, because, even in season 6, if you're not listening to Beards, Books, and Bourbon,
you're doing it wrong.
Good night, everybody.
Good night. A couple of years ago, somebody tried to tell me that I was not actually Gen X, that I was a Zennial.
No.
And my response was, if you say that again, I will beat you to death. And they're like, okay, you are Gen X.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.